Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including leaked Cybertruck launch pricing, Tesla customer loyalty, Supercharger transfers, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla has unveiled their plans for a new 120-acre project at Giga, Texas. It's what Elon has called an ecological paradise planned around the Colorado River that'll be open to the public. We first heard about this park back in 2020 when this factory was first made official. Part of the deal Tesla made with the local government in order to build the factory involved investing in the local community. They secured 2,000 acres to build Giga, Texas, and a large portion of it would be used to build a boardwalk where there'll be a hiking and biking trail, birds in the trees, butterflies, and fish in the stream. This was a dream Elon had when the factory was announced, and they've been quietly working on it for a while now. In a presentation they recently gave at the Travis County Commissioner's Court, we've learned more details. They officially launched a pilot program a while ago called Giga Texas Ecological Uplift. That's reportedly a precursor to the larger Ecological Paradise project. Just across the street from the factory, they plan to restore natural habitats that have been depleted by mining, restructure depleted soil to better support plant restoration, add a shallow water habitat to attract wildlife, and irrigate the whole thing with reclaimed water. They'll simultaneously be planting thousands of trees and plants while removing invasive species, and they have already seeded 46 acres. That's over 400 trees planted, so this is ongoing work that Tesla is doing to improve the land around that factory. On top of this project, though, they also have a bunch of educational programs in partnership with local schools. Altogether, they've already invested over $750,000 into these programs. It's great to see these programs truly making a difference in the environment and the local community, and hopefully we'll continue seeing them grow into the future. Next up today, the latest Cybertruck updates and a very big one we've been waiting on, pricing. One of Tesla's release candidate prototypes was spotted at a Supercharger station in the Mojave Desert, and this time it was broken down because it wasn't able to charge. When it was spotted, the engineer was waiting for a tow truck, but before it got there, this fan was able to take a good comparison photo with the Ford F-150 Raptor. From this angle, we can see the Raptor is a bit taller, but it makes the Cybertruck look a tad wider. That might not be the case since the F-150 Raptor is about 86.6 inches wide, and one fan who took a measuring tape to the Cybertruck said it was around 78 inches at its widest point. This one also had aero hubcaps, which should be their most aerodynamic option. According to the engineer, the reason it was getting towed is because it wouldn't take a charge from the Supercharger. Apparently moving it to the next stall over wasn't an option for some reason. When asked, the engineer said he didn't know the range of the truck since that one only displays battery percentages, but it would be comparable to the Model X. He also said he didn't know the price and hinted that Tesla might not even know that either yet. That said, Tesla's employees of course know not to reveal this kind of information ahead of official announcements, so it's entirely possible the range is much higher than the Model X and that Tesla does know what its starting price will be. More on that in just a second. When it was towed, they had to use rollers to get it out of the stall, so it seems like even the backup battery was drained. Some order holders are concerned that we're still seeing this truck seemingly breaking down with the delivery event now scheduled for next month, but we don't fully know the situation here. Tesla may have drained this one's battery on purpose because it's important to test all scenarios. Then, if this is an actual issue they've run into, they still have over a month to fix it. On the pricing front, Tesla originally announced the Cybertruck's pricing at $39,990. That would be for a standard range single motor version. Considering that was 4 years ago, most are expecting these prices to have increased quite a bit. The top-of-the-line tri-motor all-wheel drive Cybertruck was announced with a 500-plus mile range and price of $69,900. Just yesterday, though, we got what could be Cybertruck leaked pricing for this exact model. For launch, Tesla will be releasing a dual-motor Cybertruck and a tri-motor Performance. These have been confirmed in VIN decoders through NHTSA, and now a potential customer has anonymously posted about their Cybertruck pricing. They have an early reservation, and Tesla reached out for them to take delivery of one of the first 500 Cybertrucks, seemingly on or around November 30th. There are dual motor and tri-motor options as expected, and then autopilot options. That's all, and the total price will be $98,990 prior to their FSD upgrade. That's significantly more than originally announced, but it's important to note that this isn't the starting price of this truck, but the starting price of the top-spec tri-motor version, still with unknown range. It could very well bring 500 miles of range, which to some may justify that price, or it could still come in around 300 miles. Some doubt the validity of this based on Tesla calling the customer, but this is actually something Tesla does when doing a low-volume launch like this. Pretty much everything about this seems legitimate, but many hope it isn't true because of that price. If true, that price is $29,000 more than Tesla originally announced for that spec of Cybertruck. For lower trims, it will likely take it very far away from its shockingly low starting price, and put it in line with other compelling electric trucks like the Rivian R1T. In some cases, it would be more expensive. The R1T quad motor is available around $87,000, so range will really be a big factor in how reasonable this pricing is. If this $98,990 price tag for the tri-motor Cybertruck is true, we could estimate that the dual motor would perhaps come in around $89,000 or around $84,000. A $15,000 difference is what we see when you upgrade from dual to tri-motor on the Model S. That's also the same for the Model X. So while this leak is making many go, the Cybertruck starts at $100,000, I'm canceling. Remember that it's the top spec. If true, the dual motor should come in far cheaper, and then eventually there may be a single motor version. Since 4 years have passed, a big consideration here also has to be inflation. Teslarati recently estimated what Cybertruck pricing could be based on the price of other full-size pickups changing from 2019 to today. Based on Kelley Blue Book data, a full-size pickup in November of 2019 was $51,140 on average. Their most recent data from September of this year shows full-size pickups at an average of $66,841, a 30.7% increase. Following this same logic back from the last 4 years, the dual-motor Cybertruck should cost around $65,336.93 today, a $15,000 increase from the announced $50,000 price point. A tri-motor should cost around $91,476.93 today, a $21,000 increase from the announced $70,000 price point. So if these prices are true, Tesla is still quite a bit above their original price plus inflation. That could be a premium for initial deliveries or what they price this at in the near future. Elon did mention multiple times on their recent earnings call that this is a tough product to make at an affordable price. I very much wouldn't be surprised to see the Cybertruck, with all of this new technology that it's bringing, starting at $85,000. But what do you think? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Many expect most pre-orders to cancel if they don't get close to the original pricing. That could happen, but at the end of the day, people are going to buy a $100,000 Cybertruck for quite a while. There is likely a group of 125,000 Cybertruck enthusiasts who will pay that much, and that covers Tesla's entire listed production for a year. Tesla may not even need to drop the price until they really are scaling production. Conveniently for them, that could line up with when they are profiting on it, able to cut costs and sell it for less. While November 30th is exciting, this is really somewhat of another Cybertruck delay. The Cybertruck that is actually affordable may still be a ways off, and only come once Tesla is scaled and demand requires a lower price on this product. In any case, we got another Cybertruck size comparison in Primm, Nevada. At this Supercharger, it's parked next to a Model 3. Again, it's not the most helpful angle and no one actually measured it, but we can see it's a lot taller than the Model 3 and takes up a lot more of its parking space. At this angle, we can see the back tire is touching the concrete curb stop in order to fit in the space, but Tesla Superchargers are designed to accommodate that. This one doesn't have any sort of wrap on it, so it could be an employee-owned model if Tesla is doing that. At another Supercharger, this time a V3 station in San Ramon, California, a Cybertruck was spotted with a luggage rack. Here, there are a lot of fingerprints on the outside of this truck, so that might be something to get used to. With a vehicle that doesn't have door handles, people are going to be touching this surface a lot. This fan also asked the driver a ton of questions, including what kind of battery will it have, but again, most of their answers were I don't know. It seems like Tesla is keeping a tight grasp on what information gets out ahead of this event, which makes a lot of sense. They want people to see it and get excited, but all of the details are for them to unveil on November 30th. As for the actual fast charging, in this photo it looks like the cable has a little more slack than we've seen before, so that's good to see. It will also supposedly be a lot easier at Tesla's next-gen V4 Superchargers though, and we were lucky enough to see one at one of those stations this week. This V4 Supercharger is in Sparks, Nevada, and the cable has plenty of slack. It's not pulling on the port at all, and it's not bent around the sharp back corner. These are Tesla's fastest superchargers, eventually capable of 350 kilowatt charging speeds. It's not likely the Cybertruck will be able to charge faster than 250 at launch, which is the peak speed of their V3 chargers, but I'd choose the V4 if it was close just for the cable length on this truck. Next up for the Cybertruck, Elon Musk was spotted in his own Cybertruck at the Formula One race in Austin, Texas. He seems to have been driving this one for a while, which is great free advertising. This video was taken by Ty Haney inside the truck, with Elon's son, X, waving goodbye to the crowd. It's a quick, blurry video, but if we take a closer look at the screen, we can see it has those sharp corners that follow the Cybertruck's design language. Then the layout is a little different, with app icons on the left side of the screen rather than along the bottom. The video isn't quite clear enough to read what the range might be though, of course, or any other information displayed there. For a production update, 3 more Cybertrucks have been spotted at Giga Texas's outbound lot. That seems like a pretty low number considering we're just about a month from first deliveries. That has some concern that they're still assembling these vehicles manually, but we really don't know what's going on. Hopefully in the coming weeks we'll start to see numbers that are more indicative of what they'll be producing later this year. Next up today, Tesla has announced that owners with free supercharging will be able to transfer it to a new Model S, Model X, or Model Y order as long as they take delivery by the end of 2023. Reportedly, this applies to existing orders in the backlog too, but it's only available to customers in North America. A lot of early Model S and Model X customers are holding on to their vehicles because they have free supercharging, so this is a great incentive to upgrade. A while ago, it sounded like Tesla was trying to incentivize owners who had free supercharging miles to upgrade out of it, but now they're letting customers keep this benefit as an incentive. It's unclear if these owners will be able to combine this benefit with other incentives that have been offered to upgrade though. At the same time, Tesla recently increased the price of the Model X by $5,000, which could indicate the demand for the Model X has been increasing. That's not necessarily the case since it was previously the same price as the Model S, and this increase could just be distinguishing the two vehicles though. It's possible Tesla has introduced the new incentive to compensate for that increase, but either way this is great news for those older Model S and X owners. Those first Model S's are over 10 years old now, so if it's time to upgrade, you can now get a new Model S, X, or Y and keep your free supercharging. Next up today, a new study has revealed that half of EV owners end up buying another gas-powered vehicle after buying an EV. That, of course, doesn't include Tesla owners, though, who are known for their brand loyalty. S&P Global Mobility says these EV owners have 3 main reasons for either switching back to an ICE car or getting one as their second vehicle. Pricing, infrastructure, and range anxiety are still leading owners to buying ICE cars, if only as a backup. Their study follows data from the first half of this year and includes a bunch of different brands. Towards the top of their list is Nissan, with 63.2% of their EV owners sticking with EVs. For those that did not stick with EVs, the most popular option for Nissan Leaf owners was to transition to a Tesla Model Y, with 14.3% of owners choosing that vehicle. 12.4% bought another Leaf, and Chevy is right behind with 60.7% of Bolt owners buying another EV. Of those owners, 28.8% bought another Bolt. A lot of Chevy owners that switched to ICE stayed with Chevy, getting one of their SUVs or trucks. It's a similar story with Ford. 37.3% of Ford Mustang Mach-E owners bought another EV, compared to 45.8% buying another ICE vehicle. A lot of those new ICE owners bought a Ford truck or SUV that was either ICE or hybrid. Then for luxury brands, Tesla came out on top once again with an EV loyalty rating of 76.7%. That's up from 51.8%. Mercedes-Benz also saw a huge jump from 24.3% in Q2 of 2020 to 56.6% now. Jaguar jumped from 25 to 56.5%, Audi jumped from 25.5% to 50.1%, and Porsche increased from 23.3% to 36.8%. So while the statistics of half of EV owners buying ICE vehicles may not sound like progress, this is actually a huge improvement from a couple years ago. Many brands have doubled customer loyalty to EVs. We're also still seeing Tesla taking customers from other automakers that don't have as many compelling EV options. Then once these customers switch, a record-breaking percentage of them stick with Tesla. That does make sense because a lot of companies are struggling to compete with Tesla's pricing after numerous price cuts. It takes a lot of money to develop new vehicles, especially when they run on an entirely new platform. The obstacle a lot of automakers now have to overcome is making these new vehicles competitive. For now, most of them are still playing catch-up with Tesla. These numbers may improve across the board as well once Tesla opens their supercharger network to other EVs. That's likely one of the main factors with a lot of customers switching back from an EV. If there's nowhere to charge it reliably on a road trip, you're not going to want to go for an EV, but that already exists for Tesla, likely in large part leading to their high percentage. It's great to see these loyalty rates improving, and I'm excited to see customers no longer choosing ICE vehicles in the future because they don't feel like they need a backup anymore. Owning an EV is a little bit of an adjustment in the beginning, but having owned a Tesla for several years now, I don't think I would ever go back. Hopefully that will soon be the case for all brands because reliable charging infrastructure and decent pricing will be available across the board. Next up today, we have some bad news for Tesla's Gigafactory in Mexico. Since they announced this factory at Investor Day in March, there haven't been a whole lot of updates on this factory, and they still haven't broken ground on it. There was talk of getting it built in record time, taking it from groundbreaking to initial production in just 9 months. Well, it's been about 7, and they still haven't broken ground. Information leaked from suppliers recently that let us know that this factory would enter construction much later than expected, but the only reason cited for these delays was permitting issues. During the Q&A after Tesla's Q3 financial results meeting, though, Elon revealed that they're waiting due to economic concerns. Quote, "In Mexico, we're laying the groundwork to begin construction and doing all the long-term items, but I think we want to just get a sense for what the global economy is like before we go full tilt on the Mexico factory. I am worried about the high interest rate environment that we're in." He talked a lot about the impact of high interest rates on Tesla's business, but assured that they would be moving forward with that factory. He just can't give a precise timeline yet. Another Tesla executive did say that they still have room to grow at Gigafactory Texas in case Giga Mexico falls too far behind. So right now it looks like Tesla's next generation vehicles will be built at Gigafactory Texas first, and then Giga Mexico will pick up production once it's up and running. We somewhat knew that this would be the case, but this now is confirmed officially at a Tesla earnings call. Hopefully what this means is that Tesla will be able to work out the kinks on the new production line at Giga Texas, and then build an even more efficient line at Giga Mexico once they get there. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Over at Lucid, they have been missing production goals. Their initial plan was to produce 10,000 cars in 2023, and it had looked like they were going to accomplish that after making 2,173 cars in Q2. But Q3 only brought another 1,550 cars, which is a 28.7% drop. Deliveries slightly increased to 1,457 cars, but that means they're still accumulating inventory. Their financial results will be available on November 7th, but they'll have to manufacture another 4,000 vehicles in Q3 to meet their goals. For comparison, Tesla delivered 3 times as many vehicles as Lucid did in all of Q3 in just a single day. At the same time, Lucid is about to unveil their first SUV. We expect to see the Lucid Gravity at the LA Auto Show on November 16th. If it's anything like their other vehicle, this is going to be a very expensive one, but hopefully they're able to show us a competitive option. Lucid makes a great product and we're definitely rooting for them, but they're in the throes of scaling and it's definitely tough. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the new Performance Plaid or Ludicrous Model 3 coming from Tesla, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.